Final topic, bro. Talk to me.
Final topic. Yo, just before we even get there, yeah. Have you heard Deontay Wilder's new tune?
Is it good? Is it Afrobeat? So he's gone somewhere else with it.
He's gone slow jams, fam. Let me fast forward.
Wait to the mic. I can't hear it. It's really bad for that.
Bro, it's a bad mix.
All right, stop that.
Bro,
so I can't really hear it. It didn't come
go
through.
to his Insta. No, when you say it didn't come through clean, yeah, go to his Insta and it sounds the same. I don't know who produced this tune or who did the mix.
Wait, I'm getting to Instagram. I'm getting right
it's
now.
Horrendous.
It's Bronze Bomber, innit? That's his thing on Instagram, innit?
Yeah, bro.
Bronze Bomber. There you go. Black light, dark cream. Do you know what's so funny? I saw the first comment, and you know the first comment said,
What?
Fight someone, man. Fight someone, man.
I promise you, we don't need R&B. We don't need R&B from Wilder, man. Like, a lot of conversation goes into AJ's mental health and his space and where he's at, and is he focused? Is he distracted? Is he this? Wilder's been under the radar for a minute with unhinged activity, bro. We've seen man cry at the post fight about fighters getting hurt.
Yeah,
we've seen Wilder twerking by a campfire. We've seen Wilder drop an Afrobeat tune.
Yeah,
and now we've got Wilder. First of all, we saw Wilder hug a trophy, a statue,
of himself.
Now of himself, he's done ayahuasca or whatever that thing's called. Yeah, to see what he wants to do with his future. And now he's R&B Wilder.
You know what? We have to say, I don't know that beating that he took in that trilogy,
bro.
We might need to start saying, "Hey, how is he?
Is he the same? Is he the same?" That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
So while we're here, quickly, we want to go into this.
Is TalkSport bad for boxing? I saw a post today, right? And it just made me think, interesting question. Is TalkSport bad for boxing, right? It's from Beats, the Black Boxer, 1 on Twitter. And some people are just like, they just spout negativity about the sport. It's never positive. It's always about Fury, AJ, Hearn, It doesn't shine a good light on the sport. It doesn't make people feel good about the sport. And I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, what do you think, bro? A platform like that on boxing, good or bad?
It makes it interesting, but the problem is, at first, I liked it. At first, I think it was positive, right? Because the fighters get on there, they talk about their fight, this, that, and the other. You might get a little bit, you might learn a bit about a fight. I've kind of enjoyed the fighters pulling up to TalkSport. The problem is there's the lack of activities. There's just people cussing each other online, like Frank Warren calling in all the time, and then nothing happens after the calling. All I've done there, basically, what people are using TalkSport to do now is rebrand their public image. So they're getting there for the court of public opinion. So there's not the fight. It's not about the fight. It's about how does the whole public look at me. You know, you've had the Simon Jordan versus Eddie Hearn back and forth. We've had that happen a lot. You know, you've had countless Frank Warren, you have Fury, and all these people right now. Well, these two of them are not even fighters. The other one is like not like we had Conor Benn. If the Conor Benn and what do you call it thing turned out to be a fight, it would have been brilliant. Conor Benn versus Eubank. It didn't. And where they are flawed is they're not talking about, like, after a fight's finished, bringing it back. Like that Crawford and Errol Spence, they never spoke about it. Probably one of the biggest fights ever. Why did you not say, let's go? And it's not like they have to still only talk about BT or have to only talk. They can talk about anything. So it's the mistake they're making is it's not actually talking about fighting. It's like really
it's not boxing. It's not talking about
It's not enough. It's not enough. They need to, like, when those fights happen, talk about it.
And it's not just that, but it's like you guys brand yourself as a sport channel, but then you're getting involved in the messy mudslingings, where it's like that's not really the space you men are supposed to occupy with a platform like that, because you start to do that, and now you're narrative gatekeepers. You dictate what the narrative is. Oh, he's scared. Oh, he's this, and you just it's like a tabloid now.
Well,
when you're
always had
you're
that.
supposed to be
They've
talk sport.
No, so they've always been that though. In football wise, just because listening to him from football, they had this thing like the Daily Arsenal where they just read Arsenal for like seasons, bro. It's insane, right?
Yeah.
So they've always been like that in terms of should the manager get sacked, they're the first to be like, or the manager's got to go. So this is in a sense, they're just being who they know how to be. They like it's hard for someone to really get praise on that channel unless you are Fury or Pep Guardiola or something. You know what I mean? But you have to do something incredible. Like there's been calls you see sometimes when they call out the Liverpool manager, very successful, Jurgen Klopp. So then the network is wild. It's a place of wild takes just for the clicks. You know what I mean? So I'm not surprised. I think they just know what works. They found the formula where it's like get Tyson Fury to call in, let him say a few mad things, But even now, we should be talking about. They should be helping it because they say they're good for boxing in terms of bringing more eyes to it. But then you lot should be talking Dan Aziz versus Boatsy.
Jojo Zhang. There's so many things that they could be talking about,
and it's not. They haven't got into these topics at all. Even if you say, you know what, our platform's too big, so we're only going to talk about the fights that matters. Well, Canelo Charlo is a big fight. You can pump some life into this one. You're not doing it. It's just there when it's there to after AJ fights.
Whenever
why did AJ so bad?
That's right. And whenever Hearn is available to come and sit down for you to hash up the Conor Ben argument again.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
It's a mistake, but then I always think there's a place for that in the ecosystem, in the whole boxing ecosystem, because other people talk about these things. If they're here for like, I enjoy it. So I still enjoy some of the content, but I just think that if they can now, if fighters can get busy and they could kind of like, because Ade does a show as well. Ade does a show. And then I like Simon Jordan's show as well, the podcast that he does as well. There's a few things, but I think there just needs to be a lot more activity, and it could be good because we need boxing content, really good content on these platforms. Absolutely. So I don't want to see it go.
I agree. No, 100%. I stand with you on that, bro.
Come on, man. Listen.